Happy New Year, mongrels. 2021. It's upon us now. That abortion of a year is behind us. Let's just head down, chin up. That don't work. And crack on into the new year, which I'm really looking forward to. Joining me tonight, as normal, we have Wild Ginger Bruce. And as you know, he is so ginger. When he done the cold water challenge, the lake froze when he got in it. His toes look like cough candy. It's the one and only Wild Ginger Bruce. And I'm not going to tell him I've muted him for at least 5 seconds.
Yeah. Hi guys, you all right? Thank you for unmuting me, Nobby. So yeah, Happy New Year to everyone. Hope everybody is well. Look, we've got a new background. I've moved off my sofa for once in my life.
Where'd you get that midget porn book from?
What? That was your one.
Well, the one from me.
There's the one you lent me.
All good though, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, all good. Yeah. That's like you're saying. Be nice if 2021's a little bit more kinder, but at the moment it's not looking so good, is it?
No, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
You know. But I'm one of the few who didn't think 2020 wasn't that bad because I've got lots of time at home cuddling my dog. So
yes, not selfish at all, that Bruce.
No, it's not selfish.
This is why people hate you.
Yeah, but if you look back on the video we did when on Isle of Wight, you said, "Bloody hell, Bruce, you've got 20 odd weeks away booked next year. How are you going to do it?" That's what I brought in lockdown, just so I didn't have to go to work. So yeah,
right.
Man. Anyway,
I'll bring in our ever guest tonight. Just speaking to him backstage for a while, and he was telling us how he got into hill walking by climbing up mounds to see what normal height people could see. He's 5'4". His pants are made by Hillyberg. It is the one and only Paul Messner.
Good evening, fellas. How's it going?
Right, mate,
thanks for the fabulous intro there. And have you know, I'm about 5'7" and a little bit.
I didn't even know if you were short or not, mate. I took a punt. I'm not going to lie.
Do you do this?
How you keeping, mate?
Then? Bad, mate. I've been bullied in better places than this, though, mate. Come on.
We don't use the B word.
Bring it on. Get it out of the way. Get it out of the way.
We don't use a B word in here. It's like a love tap.
It's B for banter, isn't it?
character building.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Definitely.
Emotional resilience. That's the buzzword.
Yeah. Bring it on anyway. I'm ready for you.
First things first, I'm going to apologise as usual to the chat because I've got mid-40-year-old eyes and it scrolls up. No doubt there's going to be more tonight because we've got a superstar on with us.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, nice to finally meet you, Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah, you two, you used to do the Woodland Camp and Craft chats at the same time, didn't you?
Yeah, I've done
not together.
Done a couple before, so yeah, it's
not
seen much of Kev for ages, to be fair.
No, I saw you pop in and say Happy New Year on his WhatsApp chat, but that was it. So
he's gone quiet.
Yeah,
I think he's given up now a bit on the YouTube, hasn't he?
Well, it's a tough. Well, not for you, it's not, but for the rest of us, it's a tough maiden to please, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's tough for everyone, to be fair. Nobby, you just have to keep doing it. That's the only thing. Just keep doing it. Keep trying to get your content better and better. And sometimes you get a little bit lucky.
Yeah, but you make your own luck, mate. I mean, to be fair, you had in YouTube terms, a great 2020. So hats off to you.
Yeah. I've done all right considering we've been locked down for most of the year. Yeah.
They put you on their, what do you call it though, didn't they? They highlighted you as an up and coming.
I got something called Create on the Rise, which means that when you get a certain level with some of your videos and you get lots of likes and all that kind of stuff, they put you on the trending page for 24 hours. So
that'd help.
That basically, I got a big spike then, and then it just kept going from there. The momentum just kept going. To be fair, I was a little bit disappointed. I still got something like a couple of thousand subscribers from that 24 hours, which, to be fair, you should be over the moon with 1,000 subscribers, but I'd read somewhere that if you got on that page, suddenly you jettisoned into being a superstar, and it never worked like that. But I kept going, and I've kept chucking the videos out. And
yeah, I think a lot of YouTubers as well compare themselves to the big YouTubers, but obviously what we do is a really low demographic. So whether
absolutely,
bushcraft, wild camping, there's not that many people who want to click on those videos every day. So
except for those videos.
Yeah. Well, we'll do. We've got 77 people liking now. As you just heard Paul say, like, interact and all that sort of stuff. It helps. Quick whip down, see who's in. We've got Cy Reeler-Brand, Jimmy from Lundy's Wild Camps and Bushcraft, Nigel Rogers, sorry, my eyes do not work, Andrew the Star Fan, Media Box Kid Outdoors, Alistair Hayes, Martin Brown, Jack Jeffries, Pete Devon, South Coast Outdoors, UK, Tom and Joe Vlogs, TJ Outdoors, Terry Patterson, JRP Outdoors, Out and About, Johnny Knows Best. Hello, Johnny, you big nosed buffoon. I think Do's of Music, Woods of Wisdom. I think that's just about it with Scott Day there as well. I am going to keep missing the chat, so I sincerely apologise. Do you think you're going to slow down a bit, Paul? Because most of your camps at the moment are solo, aren't they?
Yeah. To be fair, there's a couple of lads that I get out with quite a bit more often. So there's Andy Beavers. I don't know if you've seen his stuff.
Yeah, stunning cinematography he does.
Yeah, and Steve from Outdoors Lifestyle, and there's Dave Miles. But we've been trying to get a camp going for ages, but we just can't get all together at the same time. So most of my stuff now seems to be solo, which I like. But I like the crack of a bit of a group camp as well. So it's.
I think though solo at the moment is definitely perceived better by everyone in it.
Yeah, the thing is as well because I feel like I've got to take the camera every time now. If you're seeing friends for the first time, you don't want cameras in the faces all the time. You don't want to be constantly filming stuff. You want to interact and have a laugh with them.
If you can, yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes it'd be nice just to go and have a camp and not feel obliged to take the camera with me. So there's been a couple of times where I've done that and we've not filmed, but most of the time now, I need to get the camera out to keep going.
How many times do you reckon you would actually look for the camera though if you went without it?
I don't know, mate. It'll always it's something that I always do, even if I'm out with missus now. We've been out for a walk today, and I took the camera stuff with me, and then I've left it in car in the end. So it's not fair to constantly stick the camera in people's faces. And I just wasn't feeling it today. So I've had a day off from camera filming.
Would your kit change if you was going out without your camera on an average night? Do you take certain kit to highlight it?
Yes, absolutely. Like lots of people say to me, why do you buy new gear? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Just use the gear that you've got and enjoy it. But I'm trying to build my life about being not my life, but my career to be an outdoor YouTuber. And to do that, I need to show different things. I need to demonstrate new bits of gear. People want to see new kit. And that's the reason that I do it. When I first started doing it, I just wanted to make my kit better. And to be honest, the kit that I've got now, I can't get any better from what I just want to get something different, to show something different. So, give other people opportunities to choose something else that's maybe not as expensive as my gear or your gear or whatever. Because not everyone can afford a Hilleberg and stuff like that. So I'm trying to going forward, show some more budget gear as well.
Good thing about your channel especially, and I mentioned it on a fair few of my vids, is when you do go out, regardless of whether it's a Hilleberg or the OEX stuff, you'll see you in it up a bleeding mountain. It's not like a backyard review.
Yeah,
you see it getting used. You see you kicking the stove over or whatever.
Yeah,
it's real. It's showing it working, and it does miss a lot on a lot of vids, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to. I feel it's not quite genuine if you're just doing it from a tabletop or something like that. There's some people that you can see that it's clearly brand new, never ever been used. And so some of my kit looks new, and some of it is new first time I take it out. But I'm showing it out in the, in the wild, so to speak, or as wild as we're going to get in the UK. And people just want to know whether if they buy a 60 quid tent, whether it's going to stand up to the wind or whether it's going to leak water. That's all I'm showing at the end of the day.
Most of the time they do.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. In the UK, for most camps that anyone will do here or in this chat, the 60 quid tent will do a job for 90% of the stuff. There's times where, like an idiot, I'll pitch my tent up on the summit of a hill in 50-mile-an-hour winds just for show, basically. But not every tent can cope with that. So if I'm doing that, I'll take the tent that I know will cope with it. If I was taking a lesser tent, something that's cheaper, then I'd have to pitch somewhere else. Like in the OEX tent, the winds were really bad, so I pitched behind a massive rock. Whereas if I was in the Hilleberg, I could go and pitch, come and give it to me. Because I know that the tent's going to take it. So you just have to pick your situations for the kit that you've got.
Absolutely, but even up in the mountains, you could have one particular storm come through, and don't matter what you've got, it's getting trashed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So we had a mountain leader pitch up. What's the tarn next to Sickle Tarn? Next one over, lower down. I can't think what it's called. Anyway,
yeah, I can't. No, it's not Sprinkling Tarn.
No, sorry, no, the one next to Sprinkling Tarn.
Anyway.
Yeah,
I walked past it not so long ago. I can't remember the name.
I can't think. Anyway, they pitched up there, and because it's a narrow valley, it focused all up, and they trashed all their tents, and they all had Terra Nova hyperspaces.
Yeah,
like grand's worth of tent, and they were just all in knots, just completely trashed them. All that to get new poles for the lot of them. There's like 6 tents got done in, but
cost a few quid, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, big mistake. Yeah, and that was, but I think that was a few years ago, and they were about 700 quid then.
Yeah. Oh, the prices of them are ridiculous.
Yeah.
So when I got my Hilleberg Solo, I think it was 560 quid or something. And I think they're pushing 800 quid nearly now. And then they're sold out until mid next year for some reason. It's insane.
I always say
like they need one.
It's worth it if you're willing to. It's worth the money if you're willing to spend that money. I understand all the R&D they put into it, and all of that. I'd happily have one.
Yeah.
I would always talk myself out of buying one.
Oh, absolutely. I will not recommend it to anybody now, unless you're going to be base camp Everest or something like that. You can get tents that are half the price that will do for most situations here in the UK. So, although I love it and it's still my go-to tent if I'm facing God's wrath, then I won't recommend it to anybody else because it's too expensive now. There's no need for it to be 800 quid, in my opinion. It's a bit of nylon at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that is why people like your channel, mate. You're bleeding honest.
Yeah. But it's also the lightweight stuff doesn't last. It wears out too bloody quick, doesn't it? And obviously a Hilleberg is going to be relatively decently made, but even when you're getting like Cuban fiber stuff, it wears out. It don't last.
Yeah.
And when you're paying £1,000 for a tent, you want it to, you want to get a lot of years out of it.
Oh, the Hilleberg will last me 10, 15 years, no bother at all. Got no worries about that. And when you look at it, I've got a Terra Nova laser photon, which is, and nice. The Nordis tent as well. They're both 600 quid tents, or thereabouts. The Nordis definitely is, and it is flimsy compared to the Hilleberg, but you're paying for the lightweight materials. It's a lot of space for under a kilo or about a kilo, but I'll get trashed if I put it up against some of the the Hilleberg in some situations.
Yeah.
But as you say, mate, you're out there. You want to make this your career. You need a decent bit of kit. Yeah,
absolutely. But I'm happy to do lower price stuff as well. And I know that there's a lot of my audience can't afford those kind of things. So I just want to give up, show off some of the more affordable options as well. However, if you've got an expensive tent, you sometimes just want to use it. You don't want to go out there and use a 30 quid just when you can go in luxury. So that's the dilemma I've got at the moment. So I just need to mix it up a bit.
Yeah.
Just having to flick through the chat here. Someone mentioning about is that Kid Outdoors. I find having to carry much bigger bags to carry all my camera gear, tripod, etc. We was just speaking about camera gear before we come on, and how a lot of people can get away with just a GoPro and being able to make a decent video. But I do hear, what cameras are you currently rocking, Paul? Because you've got all sorts, haven't you?
Right. So I started off with my phone. When I first started, I was phoning Samsung S6 or something like that with my first video. And I kept thinking I need a super duper camera. So I've gone DSLR. I've gone to like mirrorless cameras. But there's just two. I've gone gimbals, all that kind of stuff. And then I've gone full circle. So now I film with my iPhone. So all the stuff that I do is my iPhone, or where is it? I've got it here on the table actually. This thing, Insta360. So that gives some of those fancy shots that look a little bit like a drone. But they're all pocket-sized stuff. So I have my phone. I've got GoPro Hero 8 and GoPro Hero 9. So they're always in my bag as well. But most of it is iPhone now. And then I record my audio now. I've gone from wireless mics. I've had a couple of instances where I've lost connection. So I've had audio that's missing, which pissed me off a little bit. So I've got a separate audio recorder now. And then I just sync everything up in post. So it's nice and clear, so to speak. So yeah, I've gone from little to big, back down to little. And the thing is, though, you don't need all the big cameras and the production stuff. You just need to try and bring your personality over a little bit and just press record, as they say.
Point and shoot.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. And
Yeah,
if you go on some of the things now, there's that many people doing it. Everyone's having a go, and I think it's great that everyone can share different ideas and different videos. It's a lot of competition out there.
There has been a surge of people coming through this year as well, which has been great to see.
Yeah.
Just having a quick look through here while I go down. I'm not playing the Nobby song in the background, Desmond, even though I'd love to. Messy iPhone. Someone asked a question earlier about a camper van, Paul, I believe was for you.
Yeah. I've been looking again
out
today.
and about.
Yeah, we're trying to. That's one of the goals for 2021 is to get a camper van. So originally we're going to just buy something cheapish, but you don't get a lot for your money. It's already done. So I'm thinking get a van instead, and then start putting stuff in. So my YouTube stuff at the moment is I've been looking at how to install diesel heaters and how to do the electrics in a camper van and all that kind of stuff. So that is the plan. Hopefully get a few videos out of that as well. Document it and show people how I get on with it anyway, because I've never done anything like that before. So it's all new to me. So I'll share that with everyone as well. Have any of you done
I suppose you get
like
away with quite a little van and all, didn't you?
Yeah, we're thinking maybe a coupe or something like that. A Mondeo estate. Cheeky git. Now, the thing is, I started off looking at things like a Vivaro or something.
Yeah.
But and then now I'm looking at bigger stuff like a Boxer or a Citroen Relay or something like that. I don't know what to do, to be honest. I just keep changing my mind over and over again. Whether to go bigger, whether to stay small.
With the high tops, you can have trouble with parking them because of height barriers on car parks. It can be a bit of a ball ache.
Okay, that's good to know.
Especially if you want to shoot into town and stuff, and you end up ripping the roof off your van, you're not going to be best pleased, are you?
No.
So I would like Vivaro. That sort of, was it Vauxhall Vivaro? Well, there's loads of people making that. And there's you can buy like custom made kitchens to
I've
fit.
seen them. Yeah, we've done all
Yeah.
the homework. It looks quite straightforward, to be fair.
Yeah, and it's all about insulating it to start with, and
Yeah.
you know, don't use
Hardest
lag.
bits of solar.
Yeah, all the solar and your batteries, but I was looking. You can get a 12-volt dehumidifier now as well, which is really handy.
Yeah.
Things like that.
I saw something like that myself. It like takes about half a litre of water out during the night, something silly.
Yeah. Well, my idea was have a raised double bed in the back.
Yeah.
So you've got like a luggage compartment in your boot.
Yeah.
Have a dehumidifier in there, like a dry room. So when you come off the hill and all your stuff, throw your boots and you hang your coat up and that, turn your dehumidifier on, and get a kip, and have like a little mini drying room in the back, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was.
How long till that's used to smuggle your sheep?
Yeah, but that was sort of the idea. But I looked into it, and it would just run into vehicles. It's not worth it, and I do a lot of miles for work, so my commute is huge, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So if a very economical little van came up, I'd probably switch. But other than that, I wouldn't bother. But it'd be handy. It would be handy.
Yeah.
I just want to chuck a little shout out to a couple of guys in the chat. For anyone that hasn't seen my recent couple of videos, Dong Dippers, Ash Outdoors UK, and JRP Outdoors. Thanks for being good sports. I'm looking forward to your videos coming up. But yeah, you took that in the way it was meant. And a massive thank you to Burton Outdoors for putting a big old rant up on my channel. That was great.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I've got to subscribe to Dong Dippers. I've not watched yet. But he's on my list. Look, I've got paper. I've got a list.
Talking to paper, are we ready for a bit of a quiz?
Oh, go on then. Go on then.
I've been revising.
Have you?
I've done all my weights for different types of tent pegs and all that.
Revising.
Well,
I'm on this to change
quite
tonight.
You're lucky because Bruce is pants
Are you sponsored by Brewdog?
That's the plan. No, I'm not sponsored by him at all. In fact, they've never even acknowledged me when I've tagged them in anything.
Really?
But I suck gallons of the stuff.
You know, that's something I've never thought of. We've got a local Isle of Wight brewery, Goddard's. I might try and tap them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse the pun.
Yeah. Yeah. Do a tactical nuclear penguin camp. That'll get you some. You seen that? That was like 42% beer.
Oh dear, no thanks.
Tastes like Marmite. It's freeze distilled. Yeah, good stuff.
Not my cup of tea, that.
No, it's horrible. But it was
Right.
That's when they first started.
Start question.
Mm-hmm.
You both get a chance to answer them until we get to the music round. Then I'll have to assign you your buzzers.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
Right. Question 1. How many miles squared of national park is there in Great Britain?
God. Miles squared.
Miles
Yeah.
squared. 2,500.
Bruce has gone in with 2,500.
No, I'm going higher. I'm going 5,000.
You take the point because you're closest. It's 8,880.
Bloody hell.
Well, no, Brucey, come on. You never win the quiz, apparently, do you?
Was that England or British Isles?
Great Britain.
Oh, Great Britain. Oh, okay, yes, it's up.
As I said in the question.
Yeah, I know.
Stop whinging. That's the first question.
Because you're including bloody Scotland as well, and I forgot that bit.
Okay, this is... What is England's highest above ground waterfall? And its height?
Oh. Highest above ground. I know the single highest drop waterfall is Hard Draw Falls. And that's the highest drop, but I don't think that's highest altitude. Is that what you wanted?
It's not the highest drop pool, I'm afraid. You're wrong. That is the longest unbroken fall.
That same thing, that. I'm having the same thing.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not because The winner is higher.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't even think of the name of a bloody waterfall. So
Well, I'll give
No
you. I'll
idea.
give you another one. It's not. It's not Gaping Gill, because although it falls a further distance, it falls into a pothole.
Yeah. Okay.
no
Do you
idea.
give up?
I give up,
Yeah.
mate. I give up.
Courtney Spout.
I wouldn't have got that. I've never even heard of it.
No,
There you go. See, I told you it wouldn't be easy. You should have studied.
Crap question.
Who is the only member of ZZ Top not to have a beard?
I don't know anyone in ZZ Top.
The drummer,
I need a name.
Steve Smith,
Keith
Lemon.
Jones.
No, his name is Frank Beard.
Okay.
Oh,
What is an alternative name for backpacking? Bruce, you should know this. People say you do it all the time.
hiking. An alternative. What? There's loads.
Come on, guys. Help me out in the chat. I can read quick. Oh, no. Alan's just said hiking.
You two are shocking. It's known as tramping.
What you do is tramping.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Rucksacking. There you go.
Yeah.
Right, this is another one, a serious question.
Okay.
What animal can be used to tell the temperature when you're out and about?
Loads of them.
Look at your proper thinking.
Yeah. I got a witcher.
No.
A thermometer bee.
A cricket. They
How?
crick faster when it's hot,
Okay.
and the colder it gets, the slower the cricks are.
A witcher is a cricket.
I don't think you've pitched this quiz for the
No,
audience, have you?
a witcher is a cricket,
Okay.
and it's got antifreeze for blood, and it can actually be frozen solid and will thaw out and still be alive.
There you
Cool.
go.
Good,
Let's
good
bring
knowledge.
this back onto track then, shall we?
Yeah.
What has David Beckham and Rolex got in common? Give up?
Yeah.
They both come in a posh box.
Nice.
Oh, God.
Whack it. I knew there was a joke there somewhere.
Oh, here we go.
Brutal.
If you dig straight down from the centre of the world, starting at Wellington, New Zealand, where would you come out?
New Zealand.
Alaska.
No,
Oh, in the middle of the Pacific.
Spain.
Yeah.
Okay. That was close.
Where is the UK's Dyslexia Research Trust based? Which city?
Sheffield.
Manchester.
Reading.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
the
and that
irony,
is just a
the
kick.
irony of it.
That's a kick in the balls, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. On to the music quiz.
I'm better at music.
Oh, yeah.
No, not this.
I need you to give me the name of the artist and the song from these misheard lyrics. You might as well face it, you're a dick in a glove.
Robert Palmer. Addicted to Love.
Well done.
Yeah, you're right.
I forgot to give you your buzzer sounds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Paul, if you can say, I'm only little. And Brucey, if you can say, I'm not a ghost, I'm ginger.
Okay. That's a bit too much.
I'll get the first noise that comes out when I. Right, second one. Steak and a knife, steak and a knife.
I'm only little.
Come on, Paul.
It's Staying Alive by the Bee Gees.
It most certainly is Staying Alive by the Bee Gees.
I couldn't remember what I was supposed to say.
I'm not a ghost, I'm ginger.
That's it.
I got my first real sex dream. I was 5 at the time. I played it till my fingers bled.
I'm only little.
Oh,
It's
Oh, Paul.
Brian Adams, Summer '69.
It
Yes.
most certainly is. This is possibly my favourite one. My anus is the centre hole.
I'm not a ghost. Angel is a centerfold
Yep.
by Huey Lewis.
I don't know who it is. I know the song.
It's the J. Giles band.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
I
pee
knew,
in the
you'd get
corner.
the anus one, Bruce.
thank you.
Let's pee in the corner. Let's pee in the spotlight.
I'm not a ghost.
Go on.
REM losing my religion.
Yes. Bonus question. I'm going to read out a title of a porn film. I want you to tell me the director of the actual film.
Okay.
In Diana Jones and the Temple of Poon.
I'm only little.
Not a ghost.
That was Paul.
It's Steven Spielberg
It most certainly
is
is.
the director.
Smashed it. Right. Last couple of questions on this quiz, which will be the leaves and roots of what common berry can be used as a remedy for the green apple splatters?
The leaves and the roots. Trying to think what.
Thing is, Paul, I think one of us is meant to be a bushcraft instructor and he's never once got a bushcraft question right.
Yeah.
I've not had a bushcraft question yet. No idea.
Blackberry.
Ah.
So what are the green apple splatters anyway?
The shits.
The shits. Why don't you just say
You've
that?
never heard of the green apple splatters?
No,
I've never heard that either.
Well, apologies.
it's an Isle of Wight thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely not. Right, last one. And God knows how I'm going to pronounce this. Coprestatastophobia is a fear of what?
Being squashed. Having squashed bollocks.
Not a million miles away.
Having a vasectomy.
No, constipation.
Okay.
Oh, is it? I thought it was compressed
Yeah.
testicles.
Now, as usual, that quiz proved absolutely fuck all. I didn't bother keeping scores. So what we'll do, we'll put it to an audience vote. And the way you've got to get their vote is you have 30 seconds. Being as 2020 was such a shit year, you have to give an inspirational speech about 2021 in the style of Rocky. He was renowned for his inspirational speeches.
Oh
No,
dear.
it wasn't.
Yes, he was. It ain't about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you get up. It was
Is that right?
inspiration, Bruce.
Is that inspiration?
Just for that, you can go first, Bruce.
Okay. Well, yeah, 2020 may have been a real.
No,
good What?
as fucking Rocky.
No. 2020 must have been a real big punching down for everybody. But don't worry, Mad Max was filmed in 2021.
Who was that?
Mad Max was based in 2021.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
So we've got that to look forward to.
yeah. My turn.
It was actually based in 1985, but I don't want to be a pedant about these things.
No, it was filmed in 1985, but it was based.
No. It was based in the 80s, Bruce. Trust me.
It wasn't.
Okay, it weren't. Google it. I don't like you spreading misinformation on YouTube. Don't think you got away with it, Paul.
I was just about to sneak off. All right. Yo,
Where's
Adrian. Oh, you guys over there. You take your tent. You put it in your backpack and get up that fucking hill.
That's how you do it, Bruce.
That's how it goes.
Very
So
good.
what do you reckon then, audience? Who won that?
A child of 3 could have written Rocky. Yeah. Definitely.
Sylvester Stallone wrote Rocky.
Now that's a good story about him writing Rocky and selling his dog and buying the dog back
Yeah,
after he
he's
wrote
about
it.
broke, wasn't he?
Yeah. So what we going down here? Someone said Bruce.
Bruce, it's got to be Bruce, hasn't it?
No, Mez, Paul, Mez. It's a surprise that Bruce. It looks like you've lost again.
Thanks, folks.
Constipated, Paul.
No, look.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Mad Max was set in Melbourne in 2021.
Congratulations. You're both wrong. Google it. Google it now, Bruce.
I don't have to. Liam Johnson just did it.
It's got to be right. It's got to be right then. Yep, I think you definitely won that, mate.
Thank you.
Bruce, someone says it was Pete Frisbee says that you sounded more like Frank Spencer.
It's fair.
Robert's Bulgaria. My dog won it by yawning.
Bruce, you were pants, mate. Oh, that's good.
Fair comment.
Thanks for the encouragement. Yeah. So next time we do the impressions round, can we do someone who's not a bloody boxer?
I like boxing. And Sylvester Stallone wasn't a boxer. He played a boxer.
He played
December 1984. That's from Cy. I trust Cy over the other bloke.
Yeah.
No,
I've not watched
Out
the
and
remake.
about. The original Mad Max was set in 1984.
There we go.
The remake was set in 2021.
That don't count though, does it? Really? So then, bro, Paul, have you got a plan for next year? God permitting, I'm a fucking atheist. Virus permitting, that come Easter time, we're out and about again.
I've not got a massive plan. I just wing it like you do. You know, I don't know what my next video is. I just I went out yesterday with no idea, filmed a video, put it out this morning. So it just comes to me, and I just do what I do. However, there are some things we have done a bit of a wish list that we want to do this year. So we want to get the van on the road. We'll get a van on the road so I can go to further places, because I want to explore Scotland a lot more, and it's like the Mourne Mountains in Northern Ireland, those kind of places that go somewhere a little bit different. But I need to go for a few days to do that. So taking a van gives me more options, so I can go park up, get a base, and then go and head up into the hills and mountains that way. So that is the plan. I don't know what the crack is at the minute with the camping. I'm in tier 4, not tier 4, tier 3 at the minute. So some people are still camping around here. So I don't know whether it'll be frowned upon. Let us know in the comments. Would you whinge at me if I went camping? Because I don't want to upset people. That's the problem.
Yeah, but it gives you a chance to go out and not film it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm trying to do 2 videos a week, which is a bit optimistic if I'm honest. Just trying to get it out 4 o'clock on a Sunday, 4 o'clock on a Wednesday, get some consistency going. Because when I put a little bit more pressure on myself, I can come up with something. So that is the plan anyway. So
I was thinking,
and just keep going. I want to hit 100,000 subscribers. I wanted to do that this year, to be honest. But it didn't quite happen. It looked at one point that it was growing quick enough to do that, but yeah, that's what I want to do this year.
It don't take a lot to knock the wind out your sails either. That's what I found. I had a 3-month period where the growth, not compared to yours, but for me, was bloody brilliant. I was getting 20, 30 a day regular.
Yeah.
Just stopped overnight.
Yeah. But yes, it's a strange thing. I can't work YouTube out. So sometimes you do a video and you put a lot of effort into it and it seems to bomb a little bit. And then other times you can put something out quickly and for some reason it gets 100,000 views or something. I just don't get it.
It's
Can't work.
frustrating.
I can't work it out. The algorithms, it's just random.
Yeah, but
As
the
I
thing
said.
is, it's it's casting a net, and the bigger your net, the more fish you're going to
Oh,
catch.
that's
The more
absolutely.
videos you churn out,
Yeah.
which is sad, really, because you're not if you put out one video a month with
Yeah.
really good content, you would think that would do better than.
It does for some people. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Some people
true.
can do that and
Once
make
you
a
get
living out of that. But
Yeah.
and I will need to do. Once you get to a certain size, I could do one a week, and it comfortably pay for all the bills and all that kind of stuff. But not quite there at the minute. So I've put a request in to go part time at work. So hopefully I'll get an answer when I go back tomorrow. That'd be nice. So the plan is there to go 3 days a week, and then so I'll be full time YouTube and part time day job. So fingers crossed. Anyway, we'll see how it goes.
Couple of interesting comments coming up in comments. Funnily enough, camping is banned in Dartmoor at the moment. They advise nobody camp at the moment. Yeah,
Cool.
Which sucks. John from JRP Stinky Fish Outdoors has put on there, film and video production is still accepted to run even in full lockdown. So as long as you make money from what you film, you could define it as that. Now, I agree with that. But as you say, Paul, it's perception.
Yeah.
Your audience are the ones that watch. Would it be detrimental to you?
Exactly. I don't want to. My audience is what makes the YouTube channel, and if you piss them off, then that's worse to me than pissing the policeman off. Yeah.
Well, in fairness, tonight your audience is making my YouTube channel. I've got 120 viewers. Thank you very much.
Yeah. If you've not subscribed to Nobby yet, you need to watch him actually, because he's almost as funny as me.
I'm offended.
Yeah. Of course you are.
Don't forget Bruce.
Bruce is as funny as you, definitely. Yes.
I'm quite serious on my YouTube though. Well,
so Bruce, you do more bushcrafty kind of stuff, don't you?
So I'm a bushcraft instructor. I work for a charity that deals with young people. So I'm a bushcraft instructor and a UK mountain leader as well. So we've got centres, one in the Lake District and another one in Wales. So we take groups of kids who are disengaging from school out in the Lake District and out in the mountains. So realistically, I could go out in the mountains and say I'm training because that is my job, is to be a mountain leader. But that sort of to drive 6 hours to do that is taking the mickey a little bit. So I could do that, but I can't.
And I'm just a fat gobshite that goes to the woods, and if he needs a bit of kit, you ain't got to make it.
Yeah. But I'm really struggling because the government has said that there's not allowed to be any kids aren't allowed to do residentials at the moment, and they're not going to review it until Easter. So while I can't take kids away, we did run one just in between lockdowns where we did something in Essex, and they did a bit of canoeing and a bit of a hike and that, but the weather was brutal and it just wasn't the same thing as going up to the Lake District. It just didn't have the presence of it,
Yeah.
So if they close schools, it makes everything more difficult. We've got funding sitting there ready to do it, and we just can't at the moment, which is a bit frustrating. But hopefully it will sort itself out, and the vaccine comes out a bit better, and they stop changing their minds. I think that's the biggest problem, isn't it? It's the inconsistency.
Yeah.
Like the kids are going back to school tomorrow, but half of them aren't, and people are sitting home going, "Well, am I taking my kids to school tomorrow or not? What's going on? Am I supposed to go to work tomorrow or not? I don't know."
Yeah.
But it's deliberately vague, and it's got to be. How can you can't do it for everybody?
Yeah, work from home if you can, which makes sense. So
just a bit of the old blitz spirit. Shut up, get on with it.
Yeah, exactly. But like we can say, I'm not going to be out going out camping because I'm tier 4 at the moment, and although I could say, yeah, it's my job and I'm training, it's still rubbing everyone else's noses in it when they shouldn't be doing it. So
So they shifted us up from tier 1 to tier 4.
That's unreal.
And
That is.
I was
oh
really
well, it's all the fuckers coming over into their second homes.
Mm,
Isle of Man and that, I ain't seen it, have they?
no.
Ayo.
Well, once
Turn
I
up.
But being on an island, surely if it's a tier 4 and you're on an island, this is what I don't get. If tier 4 can go to tier 4 and everywhere is tier 4,
Yeah.
people can travel wherever they like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
But
you've got the
it's
restrictions of no pubs, clubs, blah, 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 but you can still do whatever the hell you like. That killed it, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's politics for you.
Yeah. Be locked down
We
soon.
mentioned this in the backstage, didn't we? Let's get rid of the politics, but we
Yeah,
still had to go there, didn't we?
definitely. Let's get away from it then. Videos or channels you want to shout out?
Oh, I've got a bunch.
A bunch?
Yeah, I've actually. Well, because usually I just stand there going, I don't know, I can't think of any. So Summit and Beyond, he's a mountain leader based up in the Lake District. But he does, whereas a lot of mountain leaders are kind of all sort of, you can do it and pushing your boundaries and be tough and all that. He's just a little bit more sort of spiritual and talk about stretching, exercising, but he really helped me get through my mountain leader. So I definitely worth giving him a subscribe. So Summit and Beyond, that is. There was a guy commented on my videos the other day, and he's got about 20 odd videos, but he had about 10 subscribers. So he's called All About Bushcraft. So give him a sub just to because his stuff looked pretty decent. He was doing some like mushroom foraging or something. Impala on the Trail. So he's a outdoor instructor, but he only works in the summer, and then in the winter he just goes off and hikes Appalachian Trail and hikes all the trails around here. He's based up Lake District Way somewhere. But yeah, just a funny bastard to watch. He's pretty good. And who else we got? Oh, Instructor 101. So Summit Beyond, Impala on the Trail, and Instructor 101, they're all kind of mates as well. So they kind of you'll hear them being mentioned on each other's channels, but they're all nicely edited and they know what they're doing. So they're my 4 shout outs. Look at that.
What about yourself, Paul?
I don't know. You put me on the spot there. To be honest, like I said, I've not been watching loads of the camping videos just lately. I've been watching. It's all been van stuff that I've been watching, which is a bit strange considering I make all of me videos about camping. But a couple that I follow. It's like Simon Outdoors. He's in the chat tonight. Steve from Frog Moon Wild Camps. So he's a bit like
Bloody
you,
love
maybe.
Steve.
He's a bit like
Yeah.
you. He'll eat stuff that would make a billy goat puke. That's from Rambo, I think, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? He'll find a bit of roadkill and he'll make it into a stew that is awesome. And he makes this punch. I've met Steve a few times. He makes this punch. He just puts all sorts in it. And you're getting a right state with that. But he's a really, really good lad. Who else we got in here? We've got On a Ramble. So Pete, I'm not seeing him put any videos out in a while, but he needs to. My mate Kev Ellis is in the chat, so nice to see you, Kev. Yeah, but other than that, I've been watching like Coombs Valley camper vans and things like that, and it's all that kind of thing at the minute. It's just trying to learn as much as I can, because that's the main thing about YouTube for me, is that it's a massive learning platform. So all the stuff that I do, some of it I've learned myself, but to start off with, I was just like cramming information in from watching this, watching that. Started off with the bushcraft stuff, learning all these techniques and that, and then going out in the woods and practicing it. And then I fell in love with mountains. So I just that's the next stage for me. I just got up in the hills, watched all the people like Dean Reed and Andy Wardles, as he might be in the chat, I don't know. These guys are all getting up in the hills and mountains, and the views are stunning. So you learn a lot from YouTube. It's the new TV, in my opinion. I don't watch any regular telly. It's all YouTube for me now.
But in saying that, I've proper laid off YouTube recently. I found myself having hours upon hours upon hours on it, and I have come right away from it. I pop on there for half hour a day. A couple of people I'd like to mention, like Lundy, Wild Camp and Bushcraft, and how the bleeding hell can I forget his name? Dave. It'll come to me in a minute. How do I forget his bleeding name? Come on, people, help me out. What's his name? Something.
Something.
I've just made a shout out. I've made a shout out the worst it could possibly be.
Shout out.
Yeah, you watch
Border Rambler. Dave the Border Rambler.
Oh, I like Dave. He goes up in Northumberland way and stuff like that. So I do watch Dave.
On the borders, yeah.
Yeah.
He's absolutely genuine. His vids are constant and well edited, everything. And there's nothing not to like about him. Same with Jimmy. You know, he's forever going out there. He looks after the places he goes to. His regular content. And I know they're not the smallest of channels, but they definitely deserve a lot more love than what their subscribers show. Just having a quick whiz down the chat. Someone's bought a caravan. That's Edward Howard. So if everyone wants, is there a fingers emoji to Edward Howard? I'm joking, mate.
Caravan. Jeremy Clarkson's got the right idea about caravans.
I don't mind them, but I don't like towing them or getting stuck behind them. All about bushcraft. Are we all ex-army? No, I believe only one of us is.
Not me.
Not me.
I only did 1 day in the Scouts. That was it.
Yeah.
And I thought knot tying and all that was boring back then when I was 13 or whatever it was.
Did you get dishonourable discharge after a day?
I just didn't go again.
You got Border Ramblers in the chat. Sorry, Dave. I'll proper fact that up for you, didn't I?
Terence Hitchens has said, Wiltshire man. Do you watch Sandy's stuff? He's probably the most humble man that I've seen on YouTube.
Yeah, I've met up with him once. He's a nice bloke as well.
Yeah. He's one of the early ones that I used to watch. I'd love one of his knives.
Yeah. Because he's got the Jack Law knives as well, hasn't he?
They are quality bits of kit as well. He sent Reelabrand one. He says, look, it's got a blemish, I can't sell it. And he looked over this bleeding knife all over it, and he could not find a single thing wrong with it. I'm sure he'll pop up in the chat in a minute, Si, and verify that.
Yeah, he's there. But you got a Wild Ginger Bruce knife, haven't you, Nobby?
And I use it all the time, Bruce.
Quality. Made out of a saw blade.
Well, I found that the rust kills all the bacteria.
Yeah.
When I'm preparing my food.
Adds a bit of texture.
As long as I eat everything with some blackberry leaves and roots, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's a bit of iron in your diet. It's fine.
Exactly.
One bit of kit you never leave at home when you go out. Then, guys, start off down the bottom.
Oh, do you know? I'm not one of these people for like EDC stuff and all that. I don't like. There's only my phone. That's my main thing for me. It does everything. Google, sat nav, video. I can do all of that. But if I'm going up into the hills, the only thing I take all the time now is waterproofs. That is the main thing. I don't even take a first aid kit with me every time now, which I know is very naughty.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Waterproofs is the main thing for me. Oh, I've got this little orange mug. I don't know if you've ever seen it. That gets some hammer. It's done some mileage, that one.
Silicone pop-up. Yeah, they're class.
See, I've had one of them silicon pop up once for just over a year, and it's only just got rid of the rubber taste.
Is it? Apparently, if you put it in the freezer, it gets rid of all that kind of taste. So store it in the freezer. Mrs. says it works, but I like the rubber taste. Tastes better than rust, anyway.
Yeah. Myself would probably be, like you say, waterproofs, spare warm layer, especially this time of year. First aid kit. So I'd probably say first aid kit's the top one. If you were just doing a super light walk, I would still have a first aid kit, even if it's just like painkillers. Because if you turn your ankle, you're walking back on it. So you might as well neck some painkillers and at least make it not so bad. But you're right, your phone as well, because maps and maps, phone
SOS, it's all those things, isn't it?
yeah, and torch and all that. But waterproofs is even in the summer.
Always take me fancy feast and a little vial of meths, just so I've got at least one hot meal.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we've got Frog Moon in the chat. Hello, Steve. Haven't seen you about for ages, mate. In the chat, that is. I've seen your vids.
Yeah.
That punch has sorted a few folk out, he says.
Oh, it's brutal. You could strip paint up with it. I'm telling you, it's.
God.
Put hairs on your teeth.
Definitely.
Sai is talking about the two knives he's got. He made him one to his own design, but the classic is unbelievable. Nothing wrong with it. I feel blessed to call Sandy a mate. But the knives I could never repay him for. So he obviously makes good knives.
Yeah.
So once again, I know they're not cheap, but I know what he puts into them, and they're worth the money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But I'm not very good. All about bushcrafters in the chat as well. I'm not very good with knives because I was a butcher. I see him as a tool, and he goes blunt, go and buy another one. It's just like I can't be bothered faffing about. So I'm more
sharpen it, strop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one from Craig. Cheers for that.
No. I sharpen them, and I've got a Enzo Trapper, which what's his name? The name escapes
Enzo
again. What's that? No.
Enzo.
No. Yeah, Enzo Trapper. So it's a stainless steel blade, which is really handy because you don't have to worry about the thing going rusty the whole time. Because when you're instructing, you kind of do it, put it back in the sheath, and then you've got to go off and do something else, and you don't have time to sit there and clean your knives all the time. So that's why I wouldn't have a carbon knife, although you can get them a hair sharper, but it's horses for courses really. But Morers are perfectly decent, and most of the time I'm teaching with Morers, so it just seems a bit silly to have a different knife myself to everyone else. So
you can't get better for the money than a Mora, to be fair, Bruce.
No, exactly, and
same with the Holterford's working knife. They're brilliant.
Yeah. You get one for about £5, can't you? And they're like razor blades. They're brilliant.
Yeah, Holterford was heavy duty. It was probably one of the first bushcraft knives I got. So.
I'm gonna start packing some questions up on the screen like that.
How big a knife can you legally have on you? Legally, you could have any size knife on you as long as you had a reasonable excuse for carrying it. So if you had your job needed a 14-inch steak knife because you was a butcher, then you could carry it. Not wield it around in public, but you could have it in a case, a lockable case. And
I never leave home without my cheese knife.
Yeah. They reckon it's supposed to be for an everyday carry kind of thing. I think is it about just under 3 inches.
Yeah,
and
under 3 inches.
So.
And it's got to be non-lockable. So it's got to be a folding
blade.
knife, non-locking blade.
Swiss Army knife, basically.
But even then, if a copper wants to take it off you, he's going to, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll mention this while we're in the chat. I got sent these. Can you full screen me?
I'm trying. Hang on. Don't get me to do tasks, Bruce.
So they're little baby ferro rods.
Oh, yeah. Do they fit inside your Swiss Army knife?
Exactly that. Yeah.
Oh, I need one of those, Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the orange bit is a bit of tinder. So there's like wax coated cotton wool, and then
Screws around your corkscrew.
And they glow in the dark.
Oh,
but they came from America. So fire ant. There you go. But there's inside there's like destructions and stuff. So, but yeah, if you want one, I'll bung you one in the post poll.
Awesome.
So
send you a message.
Yeah, I've got a few there. I've already sent Man Stuff TV one, so I only need a couple. So it's only sort of emergency stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, good to have. Anyway,
next question.
If I could go on
a wild camp, go on.
With any YouTuber, who would it be?
Only one. Go on, you first, Bruce.
I'm trying to think. So I've really enjoyed the wild camp I did with Nobby, and I'd really like to do that survival camp again, knowing what we know.
Like from what I remember, you ate shit.
Yeah, we ate Jew's ear and mystery meat.
No.
But, yeah, it was bloody December. There was nothing.
Yeah.
There was literally nothing to eat. There was, but
we had 3 rabbits and mystery meat. That ain't bad going in 3 days.
No, it weren't
bad. Yeah.
No, it weren't bad. It weren't bad. It could have been a lot worse. And we had all those clams as well, razor clams, and nice whelks, and it's great. It was good fun. It was good fun.
Are we selling it to you, Paul?
Yeah. To be fair, I'm up for anything, mate. I'll try out like that. So
yeah,
I'm not really squeamish or anything. I'll have a go. If I don't like it, I'll spit it out.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
Once again, back to a chat room full of blokes, Paul. You're really putting it out there tonight.
Well, yeah, I'll be gagging on the rubber in a minute.
Yeah, actually, me and Nobby should do a camp with Frog Moon.
Yeah.
A survival camp with Frog Moon. That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Camp Stupid. He'll love it.
Yes.
Mate, I rate Steve. He's a dude.
He is. For me,
sorry, go on, Paul.
I've got a few things. I'd like to camp with someone like Joe Robinette, just because it's we've got nothing to worry about in this country. Worst case scenario, there'll be an adder in the path that'll go nowhere near you, but we've got no predators. We've got nothing. We ain't got to consider any of the wildlife out. So I'd like to put myself through that kind of challenge. But in the UK, I'd like to Andy from Kent Survival. He can do breakfast on his rock or whatever it is.
Nice.
He seems to cook some good snap. And Dean Reed, because he was one of the main people that inspired me into getting into this game. And I've never actually met him. There's been times where he should have come on camps and he should have come to bushcraft meets and stuff, and I've never seen him. So I'd really like to meet Dean and go camping with him.
Do you know what? He never ever comes across as a knobhead either. I see him on a lot of the Goonie bushcraft camps, and he just seems a lovely, genuine bloke.
He's a gentleman. And he's
very
past
knowledgeable. Ginger, though, isn't he?
He's got a little bit of grey in his beard coming now, so he's a bit like wild grey group Bruce there. Do you know what I mean?
He's getting better. He's found the cure, is he?
I think so. What about you, Nobby? Who are you camping with?
It's a tough one, mate, to be honest with you. Frog Moon would be a brilliant shout, to be honest. He's a dude. I'm pretty easy.
I've heard
As
so.
I say, I can't. I wouldn't mind getting Ash Outdoors out with JRP Outdoors as well. They seem like a good bunch.
Yeah.
I can imagine what sort of mess I could get them in. Where everyone's so careful about not swearing on camera and stuff, and people swear a lot around me for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Because you're a prick.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, hang on. I've got one here. Media Boxers, I agree with him. Patrick Dickinson. Have you watched Patrick videos?
Yes.
He lives just up the road from me. I've never seen him. I'd love to go camping with him. He's a right pisshead. He's built himself a shed in his back garden. You need to watch it. He's got a bar inside it. But he's a brilliant wild camper, brilliant chef as well. So yeah, and very, very dry and funny. So he's probably about your age, Nobby. That's it.
You cheeky git.
That's coming from a short fella. Yeah, Patrick, legend. Absolutely.
Johnny Knows Best says Shug.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it'd be funny, but I think you'd end up throttling him after a weekend.
No, mate, I rate that bloke.
Singing and juggling around you. I brilliant.
Have you seen how he juggles balls, though? He'd be really good at it.
Oh, he's amazing.
Mate, he plays the old mandolin and all sorts of stuff. He'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Proper wildlife and all.
Oh, what did you say? You upset him now?
Don't forget to ask him when he comes back in if he had to use the step up to get on the toilet.
I thought you were talking about me.
Didn't know, not at all. Did Joe
No,
manage
not
to get
at
that
all.
out the back of the fridge for you?
No, she's upstairs.
So, real Brett. Oh, right. Sorry, I've just seen something. Terry Patterson says Sean James. Are you talking about the singer, mate? If you are, yes, he's a dude. If not, I have no idea who you're talking about. Real Brand. I beg to differ. I've camped in the US and Africa. The only time wildlife even bothered me was in the UK.
Well,
Midges are horrible. It's the worst wildlife in the world.
don't. They're just brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Midges or mozzies?
No, midges are worse.
Yeah, mozzies. I can live with mozzies. Midges, no, they just get everywhere, mate.
Yeah.
And they just cover you.
Mozzies.
Yeah.
Hayes would be a great shout. Always, he's just another funny fecker, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with him though when it comes to this stuff. He's like,
You don't have to.
Oh, you've got to. It's competition. I'm not there for. I'm not there for taking part, Nobby. I'm not one of these. You tried his best kind of things. You've got to go for it, balls deep. Go for it.
See, I look at it a different way. I normally just look up and say, I'm 40 if I want to drink it, I'll drink it. The days of me being bullied into something are long gone.
You go camping with Frog Moon and you'll be all over that punch, mate. I'm telling you.
That's because I'd want to drink it.
Yeah. Not after the first one, you would.
He's got screech in it. Of course you are.
Yeah. Horrible stuff.
Right, I'm just going to go pour myself another rum and coke. Won't be long.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll get rid of.
How far are you going? Can we talk about you? Or have you got
Do
your
you like? I've
earbuds
got
in?
wireless earbuds in.
Can't even mute him.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It is a shame. What is a shame?
Gone off to interfere with himself.
Let's have a look at some.
Yeah,
Have a look at some of these comments.
All About Bushcraft just said Jew's ear in gin looks great. So I made some slow gin.
Yep.
65% alcohol. Dried out a load of Jew's ear and then poured it in there. Obviously soaked it in slows as well.
Yeah.
And actually, it's edible. Have you ever eaten Jew's ear?
No, I've seen it, but I've never eaten it.
Oh, you need to try it. Just
No, you don't.
Nobody won't keen.
Yeah, every time we've come across it, it's been a bit shriveled up and starting to go off. Do you know what I mean? It's never been at that perfect
at the moment,
piece of liver condition.
It's about right.
Yeah,
but you find it on old dead elder trees, and
Yeah.
you find it on ash sometimes as well. But usually elder. Just as soon as you see elder trees, just have a
Walk straight past them.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's not keen. But yeah, but I heard that you can dry it out and soak it in like orange cordial or alcohol. So we give that a go on one of my vids, and it was actually edible. It wasn't too terrible. So, but that's
Right.
What?
Niall, he's asked about 200 times. Do you know the reason why you can't get a Banshee 200 anywhere online? No, Niall, I don't know. But you can get them in Go Outdoors because I saw one the other day. So go to your local Go Outdoors shop and pick one up from there, mate.
Yeah.
There we go.
Vango just brought a whole new range of like recycled stuff now as well. The
The-
recycled tents.
There's a lot of that stuff. I've also seen they've got some like air beam tents, like solo wild camping
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
I saw them at the outdoor trade show last year.
Yeah.
I had a chat with them about it, and I'm not convinced by the air beam stuff myself, but just I'm a bit old fashioned now. I'm used to.
It's the lightest one-man tent, isn't it? Or it was
Yeah, yeah. If it holds up, then fine. But if you get some sort of leak or puncture, then you're
stuff.
screwed. At least if your pole snaps, you can sleeve it, or you can wrap some tie wraps around it, or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a £600 tent, isn't it?
Whistle something.
Yeah. So it's not for me. If they give me one to try, then I'll take it. But just to show everyone. But other than that,
if you become a influencer for Vango, they give you 50% off.
Yeah.
But I already get that with work anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But
50% off of a tent you don't want.
Oh yeah, exactly. And the thing is, I got me 2 sleeping bags with 50% off. But when you sort of hunt around and you find stuff in sales, usually the stuff in sales is kind of 40% off anyway.
Yeah.
It's not a massive draw to be an influencer for Vango, to be honest. But there you go. But yeah, I got me a couple of sleeping bags, and there's not really anything else I need. I wouldn't buy their boots, their shoes and clothes.
I didn't know they did clothing.
Yeah, they've brought out a range of boots that look sort of lightweight, but I wouldn't really trust them. So.
Yeah.
No, boots are a specialised thing to get into, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But they're also they're selling Trangiers and.
They've got quite a few things, haven't they? Companies under their. I can't remember the name of the group that owns them. There's a group that owns all of them.
So some of the dried meals as well. I can't remember what make it is. They do some of the ration pack stuff. But whether that's any good, because they was Beyond the Beaten Track, but they've actually gone bust now.
Yeah,
they went to the wall. So.
So one thing I did want to try, and it's after one of your vids, Paul. It was that was it tent meals?
Yeah,
they looked bloody good.
They're wholesome, they're filling, but I like meat, so that's the only thing.
You're still coming out with them, Bruce.
I know. I can't help it. I'm a carnivore. There's nothing better than chomping on a big sausage, is there? You know what I mean? If I had the choice, I'd be eating one of your dead pheasants or burnt rabbit than chewing on a potato or something. But it's just who I am. You might have seen like a bit of steak or like a bit of salmon fillet or whatever it is. But
you're preaching to the converted.
Yeah, the tent meals are all right. They're filling, and I recommend them, especially if you want to go down that route of vegetarian, or some of them may even be vegan now. I don't know, but they've got everything that you need, and they're very nutritious. So, and they're lightweight as well.
Did you see the fun size Earthling the other day cooking up her frog's legs up on Elvelin?
No, I didn't see that.
Did she catch them herself?
No, I think she went to was it a Philippine market?
Yeah.
And got them there. But yeah, she walked up there with a Tupperware thing full of frog's legs.
Awesome.
I'd have a go. They're meant to be really tasty.
John Lane said, "Are Mendel boots any good?" Or what do you think about Mendel? Yeah, they're good. They're decent.
Yeah, there's lots.
Always try them on before you buy them. Go to a shop, try them on, and then buy them online if you can.
See, this time around, I've got some Scarpa SL Actives, and I went to, what's the name of the shop? There's an outdoor shop in Sheffield. I can't remember what it is now, which is a shame. But I had a proper boot fitting. It's the first time I've ever done that. I paid full price for the boots. So I could have saved 30 quid and gone to go outdoors or whatever it is, but the service was brilliant, and they've made sure that I've got the perfect size boot for my feet, and there's a guarantee as well that if there's any issues with it, they'll like manipulate the leather so it like fits your foot. So if you get like a hot spot, so I reckon it's well worth doing that if you're going to spend a lot of money on a boot. Go and get them professionally fit. You might pay RRP, but it's not going to cost you any more for the fitting, but it's well worth doing.
Quick answer for the guy on screen, Niall Bell again. What would you recommend for beginners one-man budget tent? Depends how budget you want. If you want to go really, really budget, you can't go wrong with the Quechua. Is it the 4-class one or whatever it is? It's a two-man tent. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called the 4-class. They're 20 quid, and you're going to be the first tent for that sort of money that will work, as opposed to a Tesco tent that's going to let rain straight in.
Has it got fiberglass poles for that price, though?
It has, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not going to be great.
It's not the best.
Yeah, it's not going to be great up in a mountain. That's what I'm saying. But, whereas I'd go for something that's got at least aluminium poles, and I think for that you can, for about 50 quid, you can get something. I don't like the OEX one that I got. It's only 40, 50. Well, there's one for 50 quid. There's one for 60 quid, but it's got aluminium poles and it's strong. Whereas the fiberglass poles, I don't know if you've used them before, but they do break.
I have.
Yeah, they do break. Yeah. So depends what you want to use it for. So a 20 quid tent will do you in the woods 95% of the time, unless a branch falls on it. Then no tent's gonna be any good for you. But go for it.
Yeah, I got a Berghaus Peak 3.1, which was they're usually about 80 quid. And I picked that up on eBay new. It was just in a sale for about 40 quid. And that is the tits of a tent. I was really pleased. I'm really pleased with that. And the thing is, it's bright red, so it's not very stealthy. But it's just a one aluminium pole over. And it's got loads of space. But the inner is jet black. So you can sleep in it in the day. It's brilliant. Okay. That's the best thing about it. Whereas most tents, as soon as the sun's up, you're awake, aren't you? Because it's like...
Yeah.
But I've got a Wild Country Zephos 2 compact, which is, a decent tent. It will take a battering, but it's just, it's fairly cheap. The interior is not that great. But I'll prefer a 2-man tent all day long, just because most 1-man tents, you can't get a backpack in them, can you, with you?
Yeah, that's true.
I'll always go for a 2-man.
Well, they reckon... if you want 2 people in it, get a 3-man tent. If you want 1 man in it, get a 2-man tent. It's enough room for you and your bag, isn't it? So count your bag as a person. That's what I always say.
Absolutely, yeah. But
you always luck out anyway with the head height, don't you, Paul?
Exactly. Do you know that Rab Ridge Raider I've got? I can sit up in that.
Yeah, there's that Lanshan 1. I've got one of those, and I'm just too tall for it. And I'm like pretty much 6 foot.
You end up touching sides, don't you, with your sleeping bag a bit?
Yeah, and
first time that's happened.
Yeah. But just a bit of annoying. I should have gone for the Lanshan 2, but now they've gone silly expensive.
Yeah.
But I've gone right off ordering anything from Poxy AliExpress anyway, because
likewise.
Their returns are impossible. Their kit is just getting worse and worse. And now, it used to be if you bought anything from China that was over 20 quid, you could get taxed on it. But now that's slightly dropped down to 15 quid. So if you buy anything on AliExpress over 15 quid, you're going to get a £8 handling charge plus the tax.
Yeah,
which is a real.
Someone got in touch with me as well, because I've done the AliExpress trail style thing a couple of years back, and I put a link up to it, and I looked through it because he said the link weren't working. They're not making the trail style knockoffs anymore on AliExpress. So I'm guessing, I don't know how they're managing to clamp down on China, but I don't know why they'd stop making it otherwise.
Yeah, Chinese do what they want, don't they, when it comes to copy and stuff? I don't think, have they not got no laws on copyright or something? Or...
No.
patents and it's ridiculous.
No, well, the thing is, they produce so much stuff. It's properly hard to just keep track of it. So what they'll do, like that Trial Star, they probably just ordered 2,000 of them, sold them all off, and that was that done.
Yeah.
And then they'll go on to rip off
whatever. Then the next thing, well, next trend.
Yeah, I remember Black and Decker years ago found a load of imports coming in of Black and Decker workbenches, and they were identical. So Black and Decker went to the factory, repossessed the whole lot because of copyright, and then just put Black and Decker stickers on them and sold them. They were the same quality.
No.
Pretty much sold across the road. There was the same made in a factory across the road from where Black and Decker were making them. So yeah.
Right, Nicholas Glasgow says tents or hammocks. Which do you prefer? Hammocks for me, and Paul is going to be wrong. Sorry, Paul. What was
that? Tents for me, surprisingly enough. I've never really got on with hammocks because they should be incredibly comfortable, but for me it's not. And I almost gave up on it. I started off with a DD hammock, which was very narrow, and I was like sleeping in a banana all the time, and I just couldn't. It was hurting me back at knees. And I gave it another go, and I bought a Hennessy hammock, which let me lie diagonally, and that was a game changer. Being able to lie flat. So I can use a hammock, but my preference is a tent because you can't pitch a hammock on the top of Helvellyn, can you?
No, I just don't sleep well on the floor.
Yeah, it just depends where you are. I'm not fussed either way. I like a tent just because you've got a little bit of admin area. People love sausage. Just because you've got a bit of admin area and you've got a bit of privacy, whereas in a hammock, you jump out your sleeping bag in the night and you're kind of running around your pants.
Don't get me wrong. I've bivvied in the woods. I've had a tent in the woods. I'd rather have a hammock in the woods every day of the week, just because there is on that woodland floor. There's lots of creepy crawlies. There's lots of mice, all those kind of things, and I'd rather be out the way of them. That's the only reason. So I choose a hammock in the woods now every time.
On one of my videos I did in the summer, I was testing out the airbed that Nobby had suggested. It was like a tenner on Amazon. That's a really good bit for a tenner. Still going strong as well. But I was testing that out, and I'm sleeping under just a tarp, and I kept hearing this scratching all night long, and I thought there's a mouse chewing on something. In a minute, my airbed's going to go pop. And in the morning, I rolled the airbed over. I was laying there looking at my phone. I could hear it scratching. Flipped it over, and because it had rained, there was about 50 beetles all running around underneath it. I was like,
no, that's not my cup of tea. That.
Yeah, there was just everything on there. I was like, okay, that was what was making the noise. It's not a mouse. It wasn't too bad.
Nothing worse than flicking the old slugs off your pillow before you get into bed.
Yeah. Sleeping in a bivvy bag and waking up with a slug on your face. How do you overcome the fear of your first wild camp? Listening to music is quite a good one. Just very quiet music, just to take that, the twig snapping. Also, having a bit of idea of what you're likely to come across. So things like munkjack deer, they bark like a dog all night long. But they'll bark at an unperceived threat. So if they can hear you or smell you, they'll start barking. So all you need to do is go, "Shut up!" And then they'll realise that it's just you sitting in your hammock. Also, things like foxes. If you've got any idea what a fox sounds like, it sounds like a woman being raped. So that's going to freak you out as well. But also,
how do you know that? How do you know that?
We did a trial at one of our camps. So we put them next to each other.
Edit that out, Nobby.
It was for...
Can I go one bloody live stream without Bruce talking about that?
What? It was Paul's fault.
Anyway, carry on.
Go on, Bruce. Carry on.
He's done. Has he muted himself?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. So for me, See, I'm the opposite of you guys because I don't go in the woodland as much these days. I recommend if for your first camp, don't go in the woodland because woodland you're going to hear loads and loads of different noises. Whereas if you're up in the hills, it's wind. You don't hear foxes. You don't hear deer or creepy crawlies. I've heard a beetle crawling up the outside of my tent before, and it sounded like there was a bloody wolf outside. It was that loud. Do you know what I mean? So I recommend not going in woodland because there's more noises and things to freak you out there than there is up in the hills.
Up on the top of a hill, you're less likely to hear someone approaching. In the woods, you'll definitely hear them.
Yeah. You're not going to get anyone approaching you in any of them either, are you, really, to be fair?
No.
People think, well, what if an axeman comes and chops your head off? What's the chances of somebody randomly walking in the middle of the woods or up a hill with an axe, and chance by chance coming upon you? It's not going to happen. You're more likely to get in some kind of trouble in a city centre or in a village than you are up in the hills or in the woods. So, don't worry about things like that. You'll be perfectly fine.
Might be a landowner coming to tell you to bugger off, but
you just be discreet, don't you?
Yeah. But that's probably about the only person who's going to come up to you. But a dog walker, if someone's walking a dog and they see a hammock or a tent, they're just going to go, I'll just keep walking. So.
Apologies, that weren't the one I meant to put up.
Oh yeah.
So have you had any unexplainable events whilst out solo camping?
Well, Clan Gibson on there, who's my trainee, also said up in the hills. Where's she put it? Where was it? Just go back. Yeah, she goes.
Have the sheep coughing.
Yeah, the sheep coughing. Have you ever heard of sheep cough, Paul?
No.
It is freaking.
No, to be fair, I always put my hand over the mouth.
Yeah. But I was sitting in my tent and I heard this. I was like, what? Show me torch around. I was showing it right on this sheep and it was like, I was like, really? But yeah.
Coughing, gagging.
Yeah.
Same thing, isn't it?
Sheep don't have a gag reflex.
I won't say how do you know that.
They say that just to make him feel better. He just didn't reach long enough.
Have you got unexplained events happen while solo camping? No. Not unexplained.
I've had nothing unexplained, but I have tapped out before. I went. I mentioned Hard Draw Falls earlier on. I went to see that waterfall, and I went to Aysgarth Falls at the same time. And I camped up. Well, went to camp up the moors, just off from there, and pitched my bivvy up with my tarp, and then it just felt like something was not right. I felt like I pitched up on a burial ground or something like that, where hands were going to come out and get me or something. And it's the only time I've done it. I've camped out in loads of other places before. It's never bothered me, but something really eerie about the place. So I just packed up and I went home. Drove 2 hours home, and if it's not right, go off home.
You're right in what you say. I mean, I've had a couple of things that are unexplainable because I couldn't explain them, but I don't think they're any sort of supernatural bollocks. I just don't think I'm bright enough to realise what it was. It would have been some sort of animal or some shit.
It was yeah. So Woods of Wisdom's an instructor that I know, and he puts up his parachute at this certain place in the woods, and he went there to set up and he had devil worshippers there, and it was all like Blair Witch kind of pentangles and stuff, and blood on the floor and all sorts of rubbish there. So.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, the old devil worshippers.
Anyone want a matchmaker?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Oh, chocolate orange.
Nice.
All over.
Should really be bringing out the Ferrero Rocher, shouldn't I?
Eating them all.
Yeah, what have I got? Got some whole nut dairy milk.
I haven't got anything because I'm not hoggish.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Got some quality jelly babies.
Nah.
I thought you'd be on the peanut M&Ms, Paul.
It's protein shake.
I got a bag for Christmas. I think it's 2 kilo or something like that. It's ridiculous. I need to buy a new backpack just to fit it in, I think.
Nice.
Just having a quick flick through, but my eyes don't bloody work.
Yeah. I think one of the weird things that happened to me, I did a long hike and I was on top of Scarfell. No. Skiddaw, sorry. So on top of Skiddaw and I got cramp in my legs. That was pretty bad. Like cramp in both my thighs. I could barely walk. So I just had to like sit on my backpack for 10 minutes and like rub my legs and drink a load of water and eat something. I think it was just where I'd overdone it. But that was pretty, and there was snow on the ground and it was getting dark. So I was like, it was a bit of a, when you find out adrenaline is brown kind of moment.
Answering the question, this is more a question for Paul, but I'll put my little 2 cents in. If you're 16 and going out, mate, I know that when I were younger and these boys were younger, it was a bit different being 16. Just let people know where you're going, and if you do come across anyone, you're probably going to get looked on as if you're up to no good. So be as polite and discreet as you can. As for places to go, I wouldn't know the Peak District, Paul.
If you're 16, then I'm guessing that he's not going to be able to drive anywhere. So it's train stations. You don't want to be like going too far from those. So the train station at Edale, there's one at Bamford as well, and then there's plenty of short walks up from there. Somewhere like Grineslow Knoll is about a mile walk up from Edale train station, and then if you've got any issues, it's not difficult for you to get back down again if things go pear-shaped, especially if it's your first ever wild camp. So that's what I think about.
Is there any shelter at the train station?
There's a tunnel, a tunnel. That's that kicking in.
Yeah.
If anyone needs to get out of the way, there is some like shelters and stuff like that. So
so you got to back up if it goes.
Yeah. To be fair, I'd go with somebody else to start off with if I was only young. To be honest, just to have a little bit of support.
Just as a side note, do you think that is a modern thing though? Because I know me at 16 would have been straight out, and I'm not having a pop at you, Jacob, whatsoever. My boy at 16's, he's a fucking idiot. I was saying, I've got 3 teenagers in my house, and if someone was kicking in my door to beat me up, I'd have to call my wife to help me over the 3 boys. They're a different breed this day and age. They genuinely are.
Yeah. No, I think it's fantastic that he's 16 years old and wants to get out and go camping.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the thing is, as well, there's a lot less young people coming into that kind of outdoor placing. So, if you could get involved with an outdoor centre or find a walking club that does stuff, then you'll end up with, by the time you're 20, you're going to have a really good skill set, and you can go out and be, a really good outdoor instructor or a climber, and the kind of world's your oyster, really. But you could just get paid to do what you love.
Yeah.
But if you are going on to like Facebook groups, we're looking for people to go out with you. If there's people in those chat rooms saying how they like the taste of rubber and sausage in their mouth, try and avoid them, because it's just a bit wrong.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What we got going down
but
here?
He will keep the sheep quiet.
So what's you go on? Sorry, Bruce.
I just saw Fairy Tale Wizard in the chat. Look, got my Fairy Tale Wizard mug. How cool is that?
Very cool.
That Fairy Tale Wizard.
How's your merch doing?
Mine?
Yeah.
Not even there, is it?
Oh, see it.
Backwards. It's doing all right, actually. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I'm surprised at the amount of people that want to buy it, and I'm yet to see, anybody wearing it when I've been out myself, but loads of people keep sending me photos like top of mountains and stuff wearing my gear. So it's quite good actually. Things like this are more for just like, they're not for going up in the hills, but I've got a couple of t-shirts and stuff. It's like strip off now, look. Yeah, so t-shirts that you can wear outdoors. Got wicking stuff, so I'm trying to make outdoor stuff as well as just stuff that you're going to wear to the park, shall we say. So yeah, it's doing all right. It's just it's one of those things that, because I want to do this full time, I can't just rely on one revenue stream. So you've got to try and do lots of different things, and then all those little things add up to enough to pay the bills at the end of the day. I don't want to be nice to be a millionaire, but all I want to be able to do is be able to fund to do the thing that I love.
But all those little things also add up to a full-time job. Yeah,
that's what it is. I just want to go out and enjoy the outdoors. That is it. If I had £1 million, I wouldn't go and buy a Ferrari. I'd buy a $3,000 camper van or something like that with it. It's not like I'm gonna suddenly have mansions and stuff. I'd rather spend the night in a tent up on a hill than in a mansion. So that's not what it's about for me. It's just about being able to sustain enough money to pay for my family to have food and to pay the mortgage and stuff like that.
And you get out on your little adventures.
Exactly, yeah. Look, no one wants to. Well, there's one or two people that love their day job, but most people don't. I can see how, like Bruce, for example, would get something out of his day job. But I work for a food company doing risk assessments and health and safety stuff and training and things like that. Okay. And I don't see it as rewarding for me. It's a job at the end of the day, and I want something that's rewarding. And I'm doing something for me, and I think I'm giving something to other people as well.
I wouldn't watch if you wouldn't, mate.
Yeah.
It's all part and parcel of it, isn't it? I mean, hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next few weeks, I've got a couple of t-shirts and hoodies coming out. It ain't a money-making thing at all for me, because you know how these things work. The 20 I'll sell. Yeah. But I'll just like the artwork that's been done, hopefully.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with walking down the street with someone on your, that you've done that is yours. It doesn't matter whether you've got 5 subscribers or 5 million subscribers or whatever. There are people out there that will follow you to a certain degree, and have got an interest in what you do, and some of them are happy to support you if they can, and others just want to consume your content. But either way, I'm happy with that. There'll be people that comment on each of your videos every single time.
Absolutely, I've got a real good base, and I'm really happy with them.
So you'll get, I've got people that comment now that have commented on day one, and it's brilliant that these people are still around. And I know that the content's changed a bit because it has to. I've got things like sponsorships and all that kind of stuff. I have to stick it in now because otherwise I can't get my goal of being full-time. I don't want to say full-time YouTuber, but full-time outdoors person is what I want to be. And just take my camera along with me.
No, fair play to you, mate. Let's face it, we'd all take it, wouldn't we?
Oh, absolutely. Anyone that says that they wouldn't, so, I think they're fibbing a little bit.
Got people in the chat asking me to screw the merch, release my theme tune. I have actually spoken to the bloke now, and he's got studio time with a couple of other musicians. He says, no worries. He says he is going to record it for us properly, and he's going to allow me to release it for charity, which will be brilliant.
That'd be good. That would be really good. So, is he going to do a few different versions of the same song, or is he?
Whatever he gives me, mate, I'll be happy with you. The way I see it, even though he's a friend, and it's a bit like the bloke is a mate that's doing my artwork, I'd never ask him to do it for free, because you couldn't. The fact that he is brilliant, but I'm not going to go in there saying, I want this, I want that, I want this. Whatever I get, I'm happy with.
Totally. Even like, you know, people who do like graphics for people's YouTubes and stuff, you've still spent 4 or 5 hours of your time faffing about doing it, you know. So yeah, by the time he's bought all his equipment and written the song and all that stuff. What's the best way of waterproofing a leaking tent? Well,
the best way, is not to get it wet by holding on with tears in your eyes. See what I did there?
Very good.
You see what I did there? Carry on, Bruce.
No, you can. It's probably the seams that have gone that you could replace. Get some seam sealer and like pump, even or silicon. Silicon would do it. Pump some silicon in there, but then put some like talcum powder over the silicon afterwards, because otherwise it's going to stick to itself, and leave it up for a few days to dry. Or buy a new tent. I actually noticed that my DD hammocks 3x3 tarp, seams have all gone on that, and that was starting to drip on me the other night. So that's going to need either switching out for a different bit of kit, or re-seam seal it. So, but there's plenty of videos. There's plenty of videos on how to re-seam seal stuff.
So, do you think while camping is getting saturated on YouTube and possible you could lose subs, if people want to watch it, they'll watch it. I think there's enough room on YouTube for every bugger. The one way to make it on YouTube is Bleed Break America.
I reckon, yeah, everyone's different. It's not just about, I know when you first start making videos, you tend to copy a little bit what everybody else does. But when you've done it a little while, you add your personality on it. So all three of us on here now have got different personalities. And a lot of the people that watch your stuff are watching you. They're not watching necessarily what you're doing every time. They're tuning in because they know that Nobby or Bruce is making a video. So there is a place for everybody. Yeah. And it's everyone's little reality TV. So, it's getting saturated a little bit. But also, the amount of people that watch YouTube is growing as well. So, you know, you can all have a piece of the pie if you want it.
Absolutely. And I think because of lockdown, there was Spotify was saying there was 1 million extra podcasts started just through lockdown where people were at home doing stuff. And now, because obviously traveling abroad, does anyone want to risk trying to go to, places far away when you've got to sit on a plane for ages with a face mask on? So I think a lot of people are thinking about, staying in the UK. What can you do in the UK? Camping's a nice cheap hobby to do. So that's probably why there's been such an influx of it, which can only be a good thing, really, because it will get people and young kids and stuff involved in the outdoors. So it's all good, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Sorry, just trying to read these. My eyes ain't working. It's nothing to do with the rum, I swear. That is shocking.
Is Paul servicing his sheep? No, I went to dig a hole in the back garden. I had to quickly make room for more of this.
Well, you still dig a cat hole, dear, even when you're at home?
Yeah. You've got to keep the practice going, haven't you? Otherwise, you'll lose your technique.
Disgusting.
No, I went upstairs.
Quick flick through. Social interaction. Blah. I'll put that one up until more catching. I'll put it on slow mode. I don't know what that does. I
reckon it slows it down a bit.
Yeah. You might not have guessed, Paul. I'm not really a wizard when it comes to this.
I reckon you're doing all right. You've managed to mute us and hide us in the background, so you're doing all right.
Oh, if there's a chance of muting Bruce, I'll always find a way. Crew stalk Nobby Paul. That is one thing I want to give YouTube bit more of a go this year. Get around a bit more of the UK, put a few more videos out. But on the other hand, I don't know if I can be asked.
Yeah.
It depends what you want from it, mate. If you just want to do what you do, just make a few videos here and there, have a bit of a laugh with it, and share what your adventures are, and that's all you're doing it for, then it doesn't matter whether you're asked or not. There's no pressure to film anything. There's no pressure to put out anything out there. But I found that I started off like that, and it got to a stage where suddenly it goes in stages. You get to a certain level and people start saying, we want to send you stuff. And you think, oh, I'm going to get some free gear here. And then you start accepting a few of these shit things from China and stuff like that. Because you think, I'm making it as YouTube. I've got a shit-free tent that's rubbish. And some of those I've said, look, you can take it back because I'm not making a video about it because it's that bad. Then it gets to the next level where you get your first paycheck. I think my first one, you had to earn a certain amount, and I got 60 quid because it had like saved up for about 6 months or something. And then after that, you start to make enough money to buy a few bits of extra gear, and then big brands start approaching you, your Ospreys and Rabs and all that kind of stuff. And you get to a point then where you think you've got to take it seriously if that's what you want to do. Because there's two ways, but you can either say, no, I don't want to do it. I just want to keep myself to myself. Or you take the next level and say, actually, I love the outdoor stuff. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to try and be impartial, and because you don't want to sell yourself out. That is the problem that you've got. Because I've had things before where people have said, you need to say this, you need to say that, you need to say the other. And when it comes to gear, I won't do that. The Squarespace sponsorship that I get, it's not a script, but there's certain things that you've got to meet the criteria for. But it's something that I use. I use Squarespace before before they even approach me. So I love the website, and it's dead easy to use and all that. I'm not trying to sell it to you, by the way.
Yeah, mate, you're talking to half my audience. We just about managed to turn our computers on. Yeah,
but if it's, I'll say something if it's something that I like, or if it's something that I use. I won't say, buy matchmakers. These are the greatest chocolate bars in the world. If I don't like matchmakers, you know what I mean? As soon as you start going down that road, then you're screwed. You've lost all credibility. I'll only say I like something if I like something. That's what I'm trying to say at the end of the day.
One thing I did see as well, do you know Lone Wolf 902, I think he's called?
He
used to do loads with one tigress.
Yep.
Have you seen what's happened recently to him?
No. I saw English Woodsman did a video about OEX, if he was sponsorship, and he mentioned him, saying that they tried to tell him what he had to do, tried to take over his channel, basically, didn't they?
Yeah, he designed along with them like a hammock hot tent.
Yeah.
And there was deals and stuff where they couldn't release the footage. They used all of his videos and photographs and everything for years for nothing. He was meant to get whatever percentage, etc. And they just started releasing it all, and then said, no, you can't use that stove in that tent on your channel, and etc.
Yeah.
And he just broke it off of them and went, yeah, screw you. But it's China again, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't go to a communist government and try to haggle.
No.
Can Bruce do his rocket impression? No.
Why not?
What?
Call your dog like Rocky.
Messner!
Hey, man.
It is.
Oh, demonetized.
Out and about, have one. Like, someone's asked about other social media. So what other stuff do you use? I know you're on Instagram, Nobby. What about you, Bruce? You do all that Facebook stuff and everything. And what about TikTok? I don't get TikTok. I've been told I need to do it, and I've tried, and I just don't get it. I've had to get rid of it because I can't do it.
Yeah,
I had about an hour on TikTok and I had to delete it.
I actually quite enjoyed TikTok. I think it's because I work with kids. There'll be like certain music and stuff, and you'll hear the kids say it, and if you finish the sentence, they're like, "Oh my god, how do you even know that?" That's actually pretty cool to do. You know, so
No, I don't
Yeah.
get that.
it's very.
It's like all three of us, eh?
Yeah, but I reckon that it doesn't hurt to have other social medias because they all like link into each other a little bit. So, you know, if you've got Instagram, you can use that to link people to your YouTube, or you can link people to your Facebook group. Because I've got a Facebook page and a Facebook group, and the group like runs itself now. The people that are in that group are awesome. You ask a question, and then there's like 10 people straight away answering the question for you. Really friendly and all that. Hopefully it doesn't get too big to the point where you get all the dickheads in it, but
that's a big problem.
I don't want it to be like full of knobheads or anything, but but it can be really helpful.
I did ask a question a few months back about starting a Facebook page. I personally don't want to. I don't use Facebook, and it was more the modding of it that unless I knew people doing it, it wouldn't really get off the ground. And like Instagram, if you look at my Instagram, I'm only posting my thumbnails pretty much, and I should utilize it more. Same as Twitter. Do you use Twitter at all, Paul?
No, because I don't understand it really. I've got an account and I've probably got a few hundred followers or whatever, but I've never really done it because you just like write one sentence with so many characters, and I just don't get it.
The trouble I find with Twitter is there are so many people on there that it's a cesspool. And without getting political, whichever side, there are certain people I can't stand, like David Lammy, right? It's not his political situation. He's just a prick. And when you see him posting some of his shit up, it's very easy to say, mate, you're a race baiting fucktard. So that don't really help your channel, because people then start thinking you're something that you ain't.
Yeah.
Because it ain't his politics I don't like, it's him.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
And all the feminazis and all that sort of shite. I'll be young in a week.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Twitter. It's pants. Instagram used to be good. It's not as good as it used to be because it's all this pay to promote your posts now. I used to quite easily get 100 likes on most of the crap that I used to post, and now you're kind of getting about 40 or 50, and it's just kind of like really kind of weaned off because it's now owned by Facebook, and it's just all a bit. But it's nice because I can't always do a video because I'll be in the woods doing something, but there'll be like 40 kids with me. I can't do a video because of obviously safeguarding and stuff, but I can take a picture of the fire, so that's quite good to stick up on Instagram. And I can also it gives people an insight. Look, Bruce is up to. He's driving to Wales or whatever on his Instagram. So that might mean he's got a video coming out soon. So
it helps promote, doesn't it? But not promote,
exactly.
but it just lets people know that you're there still. That's it, really.
Exactly. But then there's all these like short stories on YouTube.
Don't know what that is.
Exactly. Yeah. But
you old bastard.
I think they're trying to compete with TikTok, aren't they? It's the same sort of thing. Little things.
And
don't get it.
And same as the posting your thumbnail thing, your community feed. That's a good one to do. But you can do that. Anything you put on Instagram, you could put on your community feed, couldn't you?
Yeah. So I'm mid-40s now. It takes me 15 seconds just to walk 5 yards, so it's not going to make a good TikTok content, is it?
Well, the thing is, I need a selfie stick to read the screen.
When I did TikTok, the videos that did really well was like walking across Striding Edge, and then just sort of filming down either side, and it's just more scenery shots.
Yeah,
I think, and like picture me dog running around and stuff like that. That all did really, really well. I got I think it was like 2,500 views on just me dog looking left to right, and that was it.
But I don't get it. Why? Who wants to watch that though?
Yeah, but see that's
It used to be cute.
that sort of thing should be great for me because I can make 10 seconds a fucking idiot look funny.
Yeah.
It's when you've actually got to put a bit of substance in it, I struggle.
Yeah.
Noel Bailey, Paul, any chance of some ventures in France and the rest of Europe once the van is done?
Yes, that is the plan. Is to just venture further afield. So we just see how far it takes us. There's still a lot of places in the UK to do first, so we'll start off close to home, just get used to it all. We need to go back to Scotland again. We loved it up there.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's immense compared. I thought the Lake District was like epic and Snowdonia and stuff, but Scotland is like different gravy just compared to those two. So yeah, that's the plan. We want to get up there again, and once we've got the van done, head up to the Highlands. But yeah, we'd love to go to France, Spain, Andorra, all those kind of places. However far we get.
We're now coming up to the last 5 minutes of the stream. I try not to do them over 2 hours. If anyone's got any questions for Paul, whack them in now. We'll have a couple of minutes of them, and then we shall do our normal and give you the floor before you get the fuck out. Let's just see if any of these come through. Oh.
I'm sorry, Terry. I have problems even writing my name, never mind writing a book. Not at this stage, anyway. I just want to get out there and do stuff. I think anything like that, book writing or whatever, might happen if it ever happens when I can't get up in the hills. You've got to make adventures before you can write about them.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way of putting it. I think the other thing is as well, you don't realise how your skill set has improved. So with the Erasmus project that we've now pulled out of because we're not in Brexit anymore. It was doing using bushcraft as a youth work tool. So I had to go to Cyprus. We was planned to go to Romania and Italy and Ireland as part of this, like, teaching other people how to do bushcraft and how to use it how to teach kids it. Anyway, I was watching a video on me delivering it, and I thought, he actually looks like he knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? And you don't really realise how you can kind of the skill set you've got. You know what I mean? So you could quite easily write a book on it because people are obviously interested because you've got that many subscribers.
Yeah.
What's his name? Who does the Felix Imler? Have you heard of him?
Yeah, he does the Swiss Army knife stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, he's done a few books on Swiss Army knife books. That's why I just look round. I've got the book sitting on my shelf there.
Yeah.
But obviously he's done loads of YouTube stuff about all these Swiss Army knives, and then he's like, "Well, I'm going to write a book on it." So if your stuff is niche enough, but also popular enough, then you do well.
It's just not the right time for that for me anyway. I said I'm trying to transition from a day job to an outdoor job, and then maybe from an outdoor job to maybe write the books about it job. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. I'm just winging it like everybody else.
Yeah, totally. So have you
Sorry, go on. No.
I was just going to say, have you got like outdoor insurance and stuff?
Nope. I've looked into insurance because I've had lots of people that are interested in like guided tours and guided camps and all that kind of stuff, and I've looked at that as a possible business opportunity. But I'm a bit concerned about the liability and all that kind of stuff for if it goes wrong, because it's not technically a legal subject, is it? So I don't know where I stand with it. I know there are things out there for guided tours and guided camps and stuff, but I've not got any insurance for myself or anything. I've only got regular life insurance. That's it.
Because it's your job, like loss of earnings insurance or something like that.
Yeah.
If you slip over and break your leg,
yeah,
touch wood, it don't happen. But you obviously then you can't do videos.
Yeah.
So then you're going to be a bit stuffed. So I just wonder if there was sort of some insurance you could get just as belt and braces, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there might be. I don't know, to be honest. I've not looked into it. At the minute, I've got a day job as well. So it'll be
handy,
something that I need to go to, when I go full time, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
What quick walking pole recommendation there, Paul? What do you reckon?
I've got two types at the minute. One's a Caramore pole, which is carbon fiber. I can't remember the other name. It's not Lecky, but I do recommend the ones where you clip them closed. That's all. Rather than the ones that you twist, because the ones that I use most now are the twist ones. However, they do slip sometimes. So the ones that
and they're heavier.
The ones that you click it, they're much better. They're much more secure. So get something that there's not much in it. To be fair, I've not tried any of the £100 poles or whatever because I can't justify it for a walking pole when I've had some that are £10 and they're fine. Do you know what I mean? So as long as they click in, they're secure.
I've got a really nice pair of Lecky ones I got for £6 in Keswick.
Yeah.
In the Oxfam shop.
See, that's a bargain. I don't think that's right. I think you're fibbing because all these people that tell me that they bought a Hilleberg from Oxfam for £3 or they've bought, these super duper.
Okay, right. So, my North Face Gore-Tex waterproof jacket that I always wear, bright yellow blooming thing.
Yeah.
It's in Clacton in PetSmart or whatever it is, Pets at Home, or some sort of pet charity anyway. And I picked it up and went, oh, that looks all right. It's still got the tags in it. Brand new. But it was like from the 90s, but it was but it still had the tags in it. I was like, oh, it's North Face because it's got North Face written on the arm. So I picked it up and I was walking around with it. My missus was looking at some books. And then the geezer went, oh, are you going to buy that coat? And I went, oh, I don't know. It's a bit yellow. And he goes, how much is it? I said, well, it's in here for $9.99.
Not to me, it done. Anyway.
I said, it's $9.99. He went, oh, give us £8 then. So I gave him £8 for a North Face brand new Gore-Tex
jacket.
Gore-Tex jacket. And it's decent, but it's bright yellow. Yeah, yellow and black. I look like I'm doing wasp wearing it, but it's perfect for in the mountains because people can see you from 3 mile away,
Got ski, mountain bike and free ride. He wants to buy a sleeping bag. And the one which I was looking at, made out of 20 denier ripstop nylon, I had the feeling that it looked fragile and uncomfy. What are your opinions? And that was for you, Paul.
Oh, well, I don't know much. I don't particularly know what sleeping bag it is. But, yeah, I've got some sleeping bags. So I've had a Cumulus one, which was a really thin material, but I had no issues with it when it came to strength. And it's not something that is going to wear and tear. It's not like you're wearing it as trousers or anything. It's something that you sleep in. So it's unlikely to take any sort of a beating or abrasion. So some of these lightweight materials are perfectly fine when it comes to sleeping in. So I wouldn't worry too much if it's only 20 denier.
Yep.
Right. So I'll just leave that one up on screen. It's coming that time now. I will say, Paul, thank you for coming on tonight, mate. It's been a joy. Thank you for bringing along a load of viewers as well.
No problem.
You never know. I might actually not lose a shitload of subs like I normally do on live chats.
How many do you usually lose? 5 or 6?
No, yeah, between 5 and 10 on the first day. Then it gradually gets worse after that. So I should have a look, hit the like button and all that bollocks. Paul.
Yeah.
Say what you got to say and get the fuck out.
Oh, yeah. All I got to say is thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you, Nobby and Bruce, for inviting me along. Really enjoyed it. It's been good crack, even though you've bullied me. If you need me, if you'd like me to come on again, I can take another beating from you. It'd be just like Rocky 2. And leaving it with Rocky 2, you can see us out with a Rocky impression, Bruce.
Hello.
If you want to rag around for 5 minutes in the backstage area, Paul, that'd be awesome.
All right, mate.
Cheers, dude. Bruce, you great big ginger sea monster, say what you got to say and get the fuck out.
Well, thank you for having me again. Really nice to talk to Paul. But yeah, hopefully this this year's going to be better. Everyone's going to have a wonderful time, and it's all going to be sunshine and rainbows and gumdrop smiles and all that crap. So see you later, guys.
And now it's just me, the glamour. Thanks again for coming around tonight, guys. Thanks, Paul, for being here. It's great to see, obviously, a much bigger channel getting involved and keeping it real like you do on every vid. Like, share, subscribe to everyone if you're not. And yeah, smash buttons and shit because it helps. Until next time I believe will be Burton Outdoors. Ta-ra!